Hello, everybody. This is Barney Strom, and welcome to my YouTube channel for Sunday Morning Baseball. We are here, and we are going to play the second week of June. We'll end on the 15th, so we're going to play one more day, then 2 weeks. We're halfway home for the month of June. That way, we can finish June this week, finish July and August next week, and 2 weeks from now, we'll be into the pennant run and we'll be into the World Series in 3 weeks. Can't believe how fast the season goes here in Field of Dreams baseball. I did update the program with the latest patch Steve gave me from headquarters. We are we may have to do some field adjustments because I have not checked out any games that I'm going to play today. However, that's only a minor adjustment. If anybody wants to check in, I'll see that I can. We'll see if we can play some games involving the people that are watching the broadcast live. In the meantime, quickly we'll go over the standings and some of the league leaders, and then we'll start to play the games. Suck it up division, which is only one league whose name I've forgotten, so I apologize. I have a mental block on who's the Universal and who's whatever the other league name is. Anyway, Mark is here, and he's usually the first one in, so Beantown will be playing a game today. Washington 38-13, 6.5 game lead over Manchester, 7.5 over Crystal Lake. Everybody else under 500. No More Tears, Real Chicago 30-19. They've since their hot start, they're about a 500 team. So David hopefully will get back on track. He's got a 3 game lead over Carolina, 4 over Chicago and Union Stewards, and those are the only teams over 500 in that division. David Lando's here. We'll play one of his games. Okay, so batting leaders, a couple of all-time performers head in the leaders in batting. Joe Jackson hitting 409, Babe Ruth leading in home runs and RBIs and slugging percentage. Greg Maddux, 139, leading the ERA race. Hendricks and Cooper with 10 wins apiece. Saves, Rod Beck. And I guess that's it. Team batting, Philadelphia in last place of the No More Tears. Though their pitching must be horrible, but their hitting is hitting 294. That's pretty impressive. Crystal Lake leading in pitching, which is why they're in contention. And manager of the year so far, Jamie is leading the voting. Mort Cooper leading the Cy Young voting, and Shoeless Joe Jackson leading the MVP voting. I know, David, you probably got in late. I did patch the game. Everything's fine. I did that before I went on, which is why I was a minute or two late. Okay, let's go and see who's on today's schedule. On the 8th, we have Union Stewards at Edmonton. Well, we've got David, big clues here. Steve Tate is here. We're gonna play all sorts of games today, I guess. Beantown in Chicago. Ooh, I gotta do Chicago. I gotta put Chicago's Washington. I don't know why they don't stick, but they don't. Let's do that now as we're having some fun. Gangsters. Let's see where that might be. Not there. Maybe they're under G. That's interesting. There they are. Chicago. Who else did I miss? Excuse me for the housekeeping. The Clowns in Real Chicago. Wrong way. There we go. Okay, how about that one? No? There we go. I knew we'd get one of them here. All right, logos are in. Back to the schedule. Okay, auto play. Union Stewards at Edmonton. Union Stewards fighting for a playoff spot. And Edmonton beats them in 14 innings. Beantown in Chicago. Mark was the first one in. Here you go, Mark. Let's play the game. Well, it looks like we're playing in black and white. I may have to change that. Walter Johnson against Bob Lemon. Chicago Gangsters 27 and 24 fighting for a playoff spot. Mark's team 21-26. They're not out of it, but they are 5 games under 500. We're in the Polo Grounds 5. And let's see, Walter Johnson 9 and 6, 222 versus Bob Lemon, who I keep trying to get in a trade for Mark, 4 and 5, 4.70. It's sunny. That's an interesting picture of the Polo Grounds that automatically popped up, but I am going to get rid of that because I don't like it. Here we go. We'll use Mike Silva's version. And this will just take me a moment. I apologize once again. This was a last-minute thing, doing a broadcast this morning. But since we hadn't had much in the way of broadcasts lately, I figured I'd do one. That's an interesting. Not sure where that is. I'll put that there for the fun of it. Let's see. Only another minute and we'll get started. I usually do this ahead of time, but like I said, today it was just a spur of the moment thing, this broadcast. Get these guys out of the way so they don't get hurt. Come on. Okay, here we go. Batting order for Chicago: Rice, Wagner, Rose, Guerrero bench, Goslin, Cabrera, Cash, Grich. In the field for the Orioles: Raines, Doby, Lobs or Labes. I have no idea how to pronounce it. Someone wants to throw it in. And there's David Lando complaining. 20 minutes. It's not been 20 minutes. It's been 12 minutes, David. Let's be accurate. Left to right: Rosen, Stevens, Frisch, Thomas in the infield, Carter catching, Lemon pitching, stepping in as Rice in for David Landau. Here's the first pitch. One down. Wagner caught by Frisch. Pete Rose walks. Rose has a good season finally here in the league. And Guerrero with a base hit. Rose is going to end up on third, first and third. Two down, top of the first. Lemon facing bench. Rosen, short throw to Frisch. We head to the bottom of the first. Chicago, nothing. Beantown coming to bat. Raines ends up on first. We know what that means. In the batting order for Beantown: Raines, Frisch, Alvarez, Thomas, Doby, Labs, Rosen, Carter, Stevens. In the outfield: Goslin, Rice, Rose. Left to right: Cabrera, Wagner, Grich, Cash. In the infield bench catching, Johnson pitching. This means, well, Raines is only 69%. Well, he'll probably still go. And Johnson throws to first. Raines gets number 23, one of my favorite players, integral part of a Vegas team in seasons past. Frisch bunts. Raines to third. Well, that's either a home run or a sacrifice. It's going to be a sacrifice. Raines walks home. 1-0 Beantown. Frank Thomas. Cabrera's got it. We head to the second. 1-0 Chicago. Goslin facing Lemon. One down. Miguel Cabrera rocks. I don't think he's much of a chance to steal. Norm Cash. He hit it well, but Doby tracks it down in center field. Grich hits it well, but that's an out to right field. Bottom of the second, 1-0 Beantown. Johnson to face Doby, Labs, and Rosen. Doby gets a hit. Doby is one of the players in the Negro Leagues that will be available in season 11 to draft. Doby may not be, but his teammates will. Sacrifice bunt. Doby at second. Rosen deep to left. Goslin puts it away for the out. Gary Carter is going to watch the ball get by the catcher. Bench for a pass ball. Deep in the right center field, but Rose has it. On to the third, still 1-0 Beantown. Lemon delivers to Rice. Rice gave it a ride, but it's a long out. Wagner and Rose due up next. Doby goes back deep in the center field, 2 outs. Rose on the ground to Frank Thomas, who's going to boot the ball. Rose is on an error. Vladdy Guerrero, 218 for the season, 100 points below his average that this season is based on, and he strikes out as Lemon, puts him away. Bottom of the third, 1-0 Beantown. Vern Stevens, 1 down. Tim Raines again, up the middle, base hit. Okay, let's take some money on if it's number 24 or not. Well, it's not on the first pitch anyway. 2 strikes. I don't think he's going to go now, is he? Let's find out. Johnson thought he's going. It's thrown over there twice. Crowd boos. He doesn't need to go because Frisch walks. First and second, 1 away for Jordan Alvarez, who I first saw here play for the Texas Road Rock team or Red Rock. I don't know the name of the team. It was a minor league AAA team. They played here in Vegas. This guy was so big and hit the ball so hard, I said, he's got to be a major leaguer. A week later, Houston called him up. Frank Thomas. To left. Gosselin's got it. Ends the inning. Top of the fourth, 1-0. Pitchers duel between Lemon and Johnson. Bench puts it off the left field wall, leads off with his 7th double of the season. Gosselin up. There's a bunt. Small ball by Action PC's manager. Bench, who's not a very good runner, on third. Cabrera up. Well, that's not what you wanted to do. Pops it up. Rosen's got it, 2 away. Cash is going to have to get a hit, or there's going to have to be an error, a wild pitch, pass ball, something, or he's not going to score, and he's not going to score as Vern Stevens settles under it for the out. Head to the bottom of the fourth, Beantown leading 1-0. Doby. Deep in the right field, Rose is going to get it off the wall, and there's a double for Larry Doby, his 10th of the year. Labs hits it on the ground. Wagner makes a great play. Will Doby go to third? Great play, 18 for Wagner. Doby holds with the ball in front of him. Al Rosen is going to hit it on the ground. Where's Wagner again? He's everywhere. Doby will go to third this time, however. There's 2 outs, so Carter needs a hit. Gosselin's got it for the out. Top 5, 1-0 Beantown in this Lemon Johnson pitchers duel. Gritch in the left field. No, Stevens robs him of a hit. He's going to get up 1 or 2 more times. He needs a hit to extend his 7-game hitting streak. Sam Rice on the ground. Good shortstop play in the game. He's out. Honus Wagner. Lemon wants no part of him. Puts him on. Pete Rose. And Wagner's picked off first base. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Beantown leading 1-0. Vern Stevens pops it up behind the plate. Johnny Bench makes a great play, reaching into the stands to pull it away from a fan. Tim Raines 1 for 1. He flies to Gus and 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Frankie Fish walks. Throw to first. He's back. Alvarez to right. Takes care of Beantown in the bottom of the 5th. 1-0. Head to the 6th. Lemon to Rose. Struck him out. Guerrero. Deep to left. And there it is. Vladdy Guerrero hits that one into the grandstands. It is all tied at 1. Bob Lemon gives up a gopher ball. Rosen picks up the ground ball. It's a great play, so it's an out. Two away. Bottom of the 6th. Gosselin 0 for 1 to face Bob Lemon. That one's going to be picked up by Frank Thomas. Takes it to the bag himself. Here we go to the bottom of the 6th, but we're tied at 1. Johnson facing Frank Thomas. Gosselin, a busy man there in left field, puts it away. Doby strikes out. Only the first strikeout for Johnson. And we're in the 6th inning. Labs pops it up to Wagner, calls everyone off, puts it away. We're into the 7th, all tied at 1. Now we get into the innings that count. Bottom 3rd of the order, Cabrera, Cash, and Gritch to face Bob Lemon. 1 down. Cash is going to single in the right field. Also not much of a chance he's going to steal as Bobby Gritch comes up. And he's going to single into left field. Poor play by Al Rosen. That's his 19th poor play. He's only made 3 great plays. 1 out. 1st and 3rd for Sam Rice, who's hitting .272 on the season. 0 for 3 in today's game. 0 for 4 in today's game. Wagner. Doby under it. Ends the 6th. What do we got here? The fire you're attempting to play as an extension does not match the format. Playing this file may result in a I have no idea what this is. I've never seen it. Might have something to do with the new baseball file. Let's find out what happens. I don't know what's going to happen now. The first time I've ever seen that message. Oh, that has something to do with, obviously, the Take Me Out to the Ball game that didn't play. We'll have to fix that. But that must be something to do with the new baseball file. Gosselin puts Rosen's fly ball in his back pocket. Carter up. And he beats it out for a base hit. What I think is funny is how many weird things you see playing action sports games. Stevens up, runner on first. Gosselin. Lots of putouts today. Rains, 1 for 2, goes down. Second strikeout victim for Johnson. We head to the 8th. Lemon to face Rose Guerrero and bench the heart of the order. Ground ball to Stevens. Rose is out by a step. I did install the patch, David, and something about that patch didn't play the "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" song at the end of the top of the 7th. That's what that warning was about. Johnny Bench. Lemon boots it, but still gets it to first for the out. Here we go. Bottom of the 8th inning, tied at 1, and a great pitching performance by both Johnson and Lemon. Cash ranges in front of Gritch, tries to take him to the bag himself and does not make it. Oh, actually, he flipped to Johnson. Didn't look that way on the chalkboard, but he flipped to Johnson, but the runner is safe. Alvarez up, throw to first. Frisch gets back. Alvarez to center. Rice has it for the out, 1 down. Cabrera boots it, error number 13 for the third baseman. And with only 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th, Beantown's got a threat going, runner on second. Is Frisch, runner on first is Thomas. Larry Doby facing Walter Johnson, who's got 110 pitches. Pops it up. Will it stay in the ballpark? I don't think so. Just beyond the reach of the first baseman. Johnson walks. The base is loaded as Doby's on first, Thomas on second, Frisch at third. Chet Labs, the right fielder, 224 hitter in the regular season here. He hits it deep in the left field. Backing up is Gosselin. And it just hooks foul. As Mark almost had a grand slam home run. He strikes out. Johnson gets him 2 away. Al Rosen. Base is still loaded. And Johnson bears down. They strike out the last 2 batters. Lemon takes the mound, top of the 9th. Facing Gosselin, Cabrera, and Cash. Frisch got it for the out. Cabrera to center. Doby's got it. Cash in the right. Ends the inning. We head to the bottom of the 9th, tied at 1. 1 run, 5 hits, 1 error, 9 left on for the Orioles. Gangsters 1-5-1 and 7 left on. Johnson's on the mound, got a way to go before he gets tired. Both guys have estimated pitch counts of 150. Gary Carter leads off. To right center field. Rice has got it. 1 down. Stevens. To left field. Gosselin's got it. Tim Raines, 1 for 3 today. He's going to hit it on the ground to Cabrera. He's going to be close. He's got him. We head to the 10th. We're tied at 1. Starters both still on the mound. Gritch on the ground to Thomas, one away. Rice on the ground to Rosen. Going to be a close play. Rice is safe. Runner on first. Rice a threat to steal. Wagner up. He is caught stealing. 2 down. Wagner to the left. It's deep. Raines has got it, however. Bottom of the 10th we go. Beantown 1. Gangsters 1. Frankie Frisch stepping to the plate. Walter Johnson still on the mound. Rice puts it away for the out. Alvarez on the ground to Cash. Takes it to the bag. Frank Thomas on the ground in the left field, base hit. Winning run on first, Larry Doby up. Deep in the right field, Rose back and catches it at the fence. We head to the 11th, tied at 1. Rose, who just made that play, leads off. He grounds out to second. Guerrero homered to tie the game. His bid for homer number 2 falls short. It's an out. And Johnny Bench on the ground to Rosen. Poor play. He's going to be safe. He is. Bench. And if Bench beats out a hit, it's really going to be a poor play. Throw to first. Bench back in time. Gosselin up. On the ground to Rosen again. Gosselin out by a half a step. Innings over. We head to the bottom of the 11th. Labs, Rosen, and Carter facing Johnson. Starters still on the mound. 5th strikeout for Johnson. Gritch makes the play. Base hit, center field for Gary Carter. Represents the winning run, although there's 2 outs. Vern Stevens is up. Deep fly to center. Rice catches it in the deepest part of the ballpark. We head to the 12th. Lemon's still in the game. Johnson's still in the game. Let's see how many innings they can pitch. Number 5 for Lemon. Cash back to the mound, 2 away. And Bobby Gritch in the left field. And the most unlikely of players just puts one in the grandstand to put the Chicago Gangsters out in front. 2-1. Bobby Gritch homers off Bob Lemon as he turns red. Sam Rice on the ground to Stevens. Top of the 12th is over. 2-1 Chicago as we head to the bottom of the 9th. Top of Beantown's order, Raines, Frisch, and Alvarez will try to tie this up against Walter Johnson, who has a bit left according to the computer. Raines on the ground to Cash. Takes it to the bag. 1 out, keeping him off bases A good move here in the last half of the 12th. Frisch is going to hit a line drive down into the left field corner. When he's done, he's going to either be on second or third, and he's on second with his fourth double of the year. Tying run on second, one out for Alvarez. Johnson still on the mound. He walks Alvarez to set up the double play. Frank Thomas stepping in, and they're going to bring in Furple Marbury to pitch. I'm not a big old Tiger fan, but I have no idea who he is. Let's see how he does. He's going to get a ground ball out of it, and he will get a double play to end the game. There it is. Chicago Gangsters 2, Beantown Orioles 1 in a thrilling pitching duel that went 12 innings. Chicago wins the game. 2 hits for Guerrero, 2 hits for Bench, 2 hits for Gritch. Gritch hit that big home run in the 12th inning. Beantown, 2 hits for Raines, a couple for Doby, a couple for Carter. Pitching-wise, the losing pitcher is Bob Lemon. He went all 12 innings, 8 hits, 2 runs. They're both earned. Struck out 5, walked 3. He's now 4-6. Walter Johnson, the winner, 10-6, went 11 1/3, 8 innings, only allowed a run. It was earned, struck out and walked 5. Marbury came in to get his third save of the game. Let's see what else we got to play today. St. Louis at Gary, 5-3 St. Louis. Washington leading the way, beating San Francisco. Lancaster at Philadelphia, 9-7 Lancaster. Lehigh at Manchester, 7-5 Lehigh, as they inch closer to 500 along with who else? I don't know who else. But Carolina at Real, Chicago, 7-1 Real. Crystal Lake at Vegas, 7-1 Crystal Lake. Maddox the winner. Going to the 8th, San Francisco at Washington. 8-5, San Francisco upsets the league-leading Washington Clowns. Lehigh at Manchester, 9-0 Manchester. Apier over Smoky Joe Wood. Union Stewards at Edmonton, 7-6 Union Stewards. Chicago at Beantown for game number 2. Beantown exacts its revenge, 9-5. St. Louis at Gary. St. Louis 2-1. Real Chicago at home against Carolina, 5-4. They've now won a couple of games. It looks like they've righted the ship. Lancaster at Philly. Philly wins game 2, 3-1. And Crystal Lake at Vegas. Vegas shuts them out. Whit Wyatt shuts out Palmer, 3-0. On to Thursday. Crystal Lake moves to Washington. Slash in here? I think so. We'll play that game. In the meantime, Chicago at Philadelphia, 7-5 Chicago. St. Louis at Manchester, 11-1 Manchester pounds St. Louis. That was a good pitching game between Parnell and Scherzer, but Scherzer didn't hold up his end of the bargain. Carolina defeats Edmonton 6-5. Lancaster goes to Beantown and beats them 4-2. Lehigh at Gary gonna move closer. They do move closer to 500. 7-6 Lehigh. Union Stewards at Chicago Real, 2-1 Real. And San Francisco moves into Vegas and beats them 5-3. Let's play Crystal Lake at Washington. Pitching for the Killers, Dwight Gooden. He'll be opposed by Max Lanier. Lineups are in. It's a sunny day here at Tiger Stadium where the 8-2 Max Lanier with a 3.41 ERA will face Dwight Gooden, excuse me, who's 5-3, 282. The batting order for Crystal Lake, the recently advertised Ricky Henderson in center field leading off. Bonds and Benzinger follow, along with Judge, who is advertised with Ricky Henderson is available for a trade for Slash's advertisement, free of charge. Jimmy Fox hitting fourth, Williams, Sand at shortstop, Thompson at second, Wilson batting ninth and doing the catching. In the outfield, Hamilton, Moore, and Slaughter. Baker, Dahlin, Whitaker, Bruthers at first, O'Day catching, Lanier pitching. Home run Baker at third base without a picture. Let's fix that. I like home run Baker. Oh, I got to play a batter before I can do that. Lanier pitches to Anderson. One down. Now I can do it. I could do it if, in fact, I could get that screen back. There we go. Sorry. I'm not sure I have to have a picture of home run Baker. I don't know if that's it. We're going to leave him blank for right now. Okay, here we go. Enough of that. Lanier pitches to Bonds. Dahlin to first. He does not get him. Bonds beats it out. Benzinger, Todd Benzinger, used to play for the Red Sox, flies out to center. Aaron Judge. We head to the bottom of the first. Crystal Lake, nothing. The Clowns coming to bat. Billy Hamilton singles. Ina Slaughter. Hamilton steals second, 20th stolen base of the season. Judge catches it in deep right center field. One away. Hamilton still on second. I can't believe I don't have a picture of Frank Baker, but we'll fix that for the next game. Babe Ruth strikes out. Head to the top of the second. No score. Lanier facing Jimmy Fox. Dahlin the Bruthers for the out. Matt Williams in the left field. Poor play by Dahlin, base hit. Heine Sand pops it up into the infield. Dahlin puts it away, 2 down. Robbie Thompson into left field, base hit. Matt Williams, his teammate with the Giants, moves to third. Wilson back to the mound. He's going to be out. We're going to head to the bottom of the second. No score. Gooden facing Dahlin, excuse me. Number 3 for Gooden. Number 4 is Bruthers strikes out. Whitaker in the center field. Henderson's got it. Quick inning. We head to the third. No score. Base hit left field. Ricky Henderson. Well, we all know he's going to go. Might as well just hit the button. Well, he didn't go because they intentionally walked Bonds. Interesting, without a base runner, without a base open, I mean. Benzinger pops it up. I guess they didn't want any part of Bonds. Dallin puts it away in foul territory. Double play in order against Aaron Judge. They picked him off second base. Well, it's been an interesting inning. 2 away, runner on first. And Judge strikes out. Well, what looked like a promising inning ends up to be a bust. The bottom of the third we go, no score. O'Day facing Gooden. Bonds reels it in left field. Moore to the same exact spot as Bonds hit it. Hamilton to right. Judge puts it away for the out. We go to the fourth. No score here at Tiger Stadium. Lanier facing Fox. Number 3 for Lanier. Matt Williams in a left field base hit. He's now 2 for 2. Sand walks. Runners on first and second. 1 out for Robbie Thompson, who is going to hit into a double play. We're still scoreless, headed to the bottom of the fourth. Gooden facing Slaughter. Henderson gets it deep center field here in Detroit Stadium. The photoless Baker grounds to second. And Babe Ruth gets to do it again against Gooden. Number 5 for Dwight. It is the 5th inning already. No score. 5 hits for Crystal Lake, 1 for Washington. Wilson deep in the left field. Hamilton's got it for the out. Great play, number 5 for Billy Hamilton. Ricky Henderson walks. Not a guy you want to put on for free. Let's see if he steals or they're going to walk Bonds again. He steals, number 14. Barry Bonds now is walked. Same result as the last time. When they're pitching to Benzinger, is going to single up the middle, and we got the first run of the game. Is Ricky Henderson scores 1-0 Crystal Lake. Judge strikes out. Not much of an advertisement for trading Judge, but Henderson's still available. Fox in a left field base hit. Run number 2 scores. Benzinger replaces Bonds at third base. Runners on first and third. 2 outs for Matt Williams. Stolen base number 4 for Fox. No throw. Base hit in the center field. That's 2 more runs. Scores. Fox slides in under the tag. Crystal Lake takes a 4-0 lead against Max Lanier and the Washington Clowns. If I know Jamie, he doesn't come out after 4. He's going to pitch for a while. He does. I don't know Jamie. He had him set at 4. Sand facing Christ, who comes in, gets a pop-up. Baker puts it away in foul territory for the out. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Crystal Lake now leads 4-0. Dwight Gooden will face Dahlin, Bruthers, and Whitaker. Gooden staked to a 4-run lead, gets Dahlin to ground out. Walks Bruthers. Throws to first. He gets back. The pitch to Whitaker. Line drive out. Center field. As O'Day steps in, Gooden throws to first. O'Day in the right field. That ball's going to score. Bruthers as that ball is a double. Rolled all the way to the wall. Clowns get a run back. It's 4-1. Gooden facing Moore. Fly ball center field. Henderson's got it for the out. Ends the inning. We head to the top of the 6th. 4-1 Crystal Lake. Chris delivers. Thompson out. Jimmy Wilson to right. Slaughter's got it. Henderson again. He's going to line drive to Dahlin. He's going to catch that ball. It's going to be a great play. Bottom of the 6th we go. Gooden has a 3-run lead facing Billy Hamilton. Gooden scoops it up, tosses it to Fox for the out. Slaughter walks. Frank Baker gets to bat again. Pops it up. Thompson under it. He's got it. 2 down. Runner still at first base. Babe Ruth. Fly ball to shallow right field. Judge has got it. Top of the 7th we go. 4-1 Crystal Lake. Bonds deep in the right field, but Slaughter chases it down. Benzinger walks. Aaron Judge 0 for 3, not one of his better days, pops it up into the infield. Baker puts it away, and Jimmy Fox in the left field, base hit. Fox has his second hit of the day, I think. Matt Williams 3 for 3. Chris stares at the runners. Here's the pitch. And there's a base hit promptly in the left field. 1 run's going to score. It's going to be 5-1. Crystal Lake gets the run back. Matt Williams having a great day. Knocks in Crystal Lake's 5th run. Chris hits it into right center field. Chris didn't hit it. And here we go. Game number 2. Take me out to the ball game plays. So who knows what that file was. Bottom of the 7th we go. Crystal Lake 5 runs, 10 hits, no errors, 8 left on base. The Washington Clowns 1 run, only 2 hits, no errors, 3 left on base. Gooden pitching a great game here. Or maybe Gooden's pitching a good game. Well, say something nice and Bill Dahlin hits a home run number 10. He didn't like my joke. It is now 5-2. Bruthers, will he be insulted? Let's see what he does. Deep in the right field. Judge has it for the out. Lou Whitaker in the center field, base hit. Well, maybe the Clowns have had enough of Gooden. O'Day up, throws to first. Gooden snap throw over there. Now pitches to O'Day. Strike him out. Number 6 for Gooden. 2 down. Terry Moore walks. Runners on first and second. Crystal Lake wants to shut this down now. Leave here with a 3-run lead this inning. Billy Hamilton, 1 for 3, faces Gooden. Hamilton to left. Henderson makes a great play. Another good advertisement for Ricky Henderson. Great play number 13. We head to the 8th, 5-2 Crystal Lake. Howie Christ strikes out Thompson. Jimmy Wilson singles up the middle. Ricky Henderson, who made that great play, will now fly to center field. Moore's got it. And Barry Bonds intentionally walked for the second time today with a runner on first base. Actually, that's the third intentional walk he got today. Benzinger to Bruthers over to Chris to end the inning. Who's going to pitch to Barry Bonds? Apparently not the Washington Clowns. To the bottom of the 8th we go, 5-2 Crystal Lake. Slaughter, Baker, and Ruth to face Dwight Gooden. Gooden with 118 pitches. That is his EPC. Let's see what he does with Baker. Baker to sand. Web Gem gets the lead runner, Slaughter. Baker at first. Babe Ruth. Deep in the right field, but Judge got it. 2 away. One of the few games I've done where Ruth hasn't homered. Of course, the game isn't over yet. Baker gets back. Dahlin is homered, however. And Gooden, remembering that, walks him. Tying run. Dan Bruthers steps in. Gooden. Oh, his EPC is 135. I was wrong before. He's got 1 or 2 batters left in him. Let's see. Bruthers hits an infield pop-up. This may be Gooden's last inning. Thompson puts it away, ends the top of the 8th. Unscathed, we head to the top of the 9th, 5-2. Christ facing Judge. Strikes out. 0 for 5 today, Judge. Not a good game. Jimmy Fox, 2 for 4. Number 3 for Chris. Matt Williams. Ground ball up the middle, over to first for the out. Bruthers tags the bag. Dahlin makes a good play. Bottom of the 9th, Washington's last chance. Gooden's out of gas. Let's see the Action PC computer manager replace him with Kurt Manwaring. He's going to catch. They're not replacing him with him. Rod Beck leads the league in saves. Fly ball to center field. Henderson's got it. 1 down. O'Day. Another one to center field. Henderson's got that one. Same spot. Washington down to their last out. Terry Moore. Fly to left. Bonds has got it. Game over. Crystal Lake defeats the Clowns 5-2 in a second game today. Let's look at the box score. That's funny. Clue. Killer Clown. Okay, Crystal Lake, 5 runs, 11 hits, no errors, 2-4-0 for Washington. Winning pitcher, Dwight Gooden's now 6-3, 8 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 runs, all earned. Struck out 6, walked 5. Washington's Max Lanier's the loser. His record falls to 8-3, pitched 4 and 2/3 innings, allowed 8 hits, 4 runs. They're all earned. struck out and walked 4. Christ finished the game, pitching the final 4 in the third innings. 3 for 5 for Crystal Lake. The hitting star, Matt Williams, and nobody with only 4 players, 1 hit apiece for Washington. Okay, that takes care of that game. Let's go back to the schedule. I got one more game in me today, so even though we're past my hour and 2 games, I think I'm going to do one more game. And Christopher Slovak checks in. Hey, Chris. We're going to play to the 15th, so let's just for the sake of make sure the 10th is done. The 11th, let me go to the 15th and see what we got to play that day. As I scope out games to play. Big clues here. Let's play St. Louis at Washington on the 12th. That'll do it. We know how much Big Clue likes to watch his games. Thanks, Chris. Okay, here we go. Crystal Lake at Washington. Washington still leading. Crystal Lake, however, knocked their lead down to 5.5 against Manchester, 6.5 against them. Let's see what happens. Washington gets a game back, wins 5-4. Chicago at Philadelphia. 5-4 Philly. Let me make sure that Saturday game, St. Louis and Manchester, is still there. Yep. We'll autoplay this one and play the next game. St. Louis shut out by Manchester 2-0. Scott over Glavin. Carolina 28-24, making a move 5 games back of Real Chicago. They win 10-8, beat Edmonton. Lancaster at Beantown. Beantown wins 6-5, edging a little closer. Beantown 9.5 back. Lehigh at Gary 15-0. Gary beat you. Steve, that's not a good job by Hubble. 15 runs. I'm impressed. Union Stewards at Real. 6-1 Real. And San Francisco at Vegas. 8-2 Sabathia over Haynes. I didn't do a Real game. I did a Real game last time. So sorry, David. Maybe after I do this St. Louis game, I'll do the Union Stewards at Real. I'll do 4 games today. It's been a long time before I've done 4 games. Let's see. Who do you play? You have any interesting games on the last day? Chicago. We've seen Chicago. So I'm going to do 2 more games. What the heck? Union Stewards at Real will do, but right now we're going to do St. Louis at Manchester. Want to make sure the 11th is done. Crystal Lake at Washington. Let's see what Washington does with their lead. They expand it, beating Crystal Lake 3-2. Washington now has a 6-game lead over Manchester, 8.5 over Crystal Lake. Chicago holding on to the last playoff spot in the No More Tears division. Defeats Philly 7-3, Walter Johnson. Now we'll play St. Louis at Manchester. Here you go, Clue. This is for you. Jason Schmidt, number 1 starter for St. Louis. He will face Atlee Hammaker. Lineups are in. Let's go to the field. Here we are at Ebbets Field. We don't have to change anything because I've done the Red Bolts games before. Atlee Hammock, a 5-3, 247 ERA, will face Jason Schmidt, who's 4-5 with a 5.37 ERA. I have to answer a text. Bear with me 1 second. Not that you guys need to know this, but I have a hard time doing two things at one time. My son's coming over to watch the golf and the Red Sox today, so I thought I would just answer him and tell him the time was okay. Here we go. Down to the field. The reason I'm doing 4 games today, David, is number one, having a good time, but number two, the Red Sox have a doubleheader scheduled today. Starts at 10 o'clock my time. I got 55 minutes, so I can get 2 more games in. So that's what we're going to do. St. Louis at the Red Bolts. St. Louis leads off with Sisler, Collins, Mays, Campanella, Caminetti, Otani, Bancroft, Wright, and Cruz. Outfield for Manchester, Ott, Ashburn, and Ramirez, King, Fernandez, Robinson, and Gehrig. Left to right in the infield, slot catching. Hammock pitching. Okay, we're underway. Sisler to Fernandez. He's out. Eddie Collins, line drive. He's out. Willie Mays. 1, 2, 3 goes St. Louis. Red Bolts will send up Votto, Ott, Ramirez, Gehrig, Robinson, Fernandez, slot King, and Ashburn. In the outfield, left to right for St. Louis, Cruz, Willie Mays. Right, I'm not going to do Willie Mays' picture, sorry. I have to do it every time. Caminetti, Bancroft, Collins, and Sisler left to right. Campanella catching. Schmidt on the mound. Votto steps in. And he immediately flies out to right field. Crowd got excited, but it was an out. Ott's going to hit a line drive. This one is not going to be caught. Mel Ott hits home run number 10 off Schmidt. Well, Schmidt strikes out Ramirez, but Mel Ott really hit that ball. Let's see how Gehrig does. Gehrig's going to fly out to right. Innings over, 1-0 Red Bolts. We head to the second. Campanella. King to Gehrig for the out. Caminetti. Ashburn puts it away for the out. Otani to Ashburn. Ashburn, a busy man. We head to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Manchester. Robertson, Fernandez in slot. Cruz got it. Collins has got it. Slot up the middle, backhanded by Collins. He throws him out. 1, 2, 3, go the Red Bolts. Top of the third, 1-0 Red Bolts. Hammock pitching to Bancroft. Robinson gets the pop-up. Taffy right walks. Jose Cruz. 2 outs right at first. George Sisler up. Right, with only a 23% chance of success, is thrown out at second. Schmidt back on the mound. King, Ashburn, and Votto. Sisler takes it to the bag himself. Caminetti throws to first. Ashburn is out. Votto on the ground to Sisler. 1, 2, 3 goes Manchester. Top of the fourth, this quick-moving game. Sisler, who was up when Wright was thrown out, goes out, pitcher to first. Collins flies to center. Willie Mays tags that one. That one's not coming back. Willie Mays homers to tie the game. Home run number 6. Doesn't get any easier. Luke Campanella steps in. That ball's off Hamaker's leg. Robinson gets it, throws to first. He is out. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Schmidt facing Ott. Ott flies to deep center. Ott homered for Manchester's only run. Manny Ramirez tags that one, but Cruz gets under it for the out. And Lou Gehrig deep in the center field. It's going to be off the wall. It's a double for Lou Gehrig. I swear I have those fields set properly. I got it. Let's move that down a little bit. That's not right, but that may look better. Okay, Robinson up, runner on second. Pops it up to the infield. Bancroft moving into shallow center, gets it. Top of the fifth, we're tied at 1. Hamaker facing Caminetti. And Hamaker liked that pitch back because Caminetti puts it into the right center field stands. Home run number 5, 2-1 St. Louis lead. Ohtani 0 for 1 today. Into right field, Ramirez has it. Bancroft on the ground to Robinson. 2 away. And Taffy Wright on the ground. Fernandez gets it. Well, there was a run, but that's all they're going to get. 2-1 St. Louis. We head to the bottom of the fifth. We're halfway home here at Ebbets Field. I'm looking, that's a ground out. I'm looking at the screen. Could somebody tell me? No, I'm looking at the screen, but it's shut off for some reason. Bear with me. Okay, I'm back. My monitor was shut off, so I was not following the game. I am now. Okay. Technical glitch over with. Fly ball deep to the left. Slot pulls it foul. He's on an 8-game hitting streak. Number 2 for Schmidt. On the ground to Sisler. He boots it. King is on an error. Schmidt didn't start the game well, allowing a home run in the first inning to Ott, but he's been lights out ever since. Ashburn on the ground. Bancroft to second for 1. That's all they need. Head to the top of the 6th, 2-1 St. Louis. Cruz back to the mound. Past the mound. Poor play by the second baseman. And Cruz is safe. Cruz a threat to steal. Here's Sisler throw to first. Hamilton knows it. There's a bunt by Sisler. Not sure that had happened in real life, but sacrificed Cruz to second. Eddie Collins up the middle. Fernandez is going to get him. Oh, Collins is safe. Thought he was out there for a second. Runners on first and second, one away. Willie Mays up. St. Louis threatening. Willie Mays pops it up into the infield. That's not what he wanted to do. And it's all up to Campanella, who's 0 for 2 on the day. He hits it on the ground to King, throws the short way to Robinson to end the inning. Bottom of the sixth, we had 2-1 St. Louis. Votto on the ground to Sisler. One down. Ott is out. Ramirez on the ground. Caminiti makes a good play. Manny out. We head to the seventh, 2-1 St. Louis. Quick games today. Hammaker pitches to Caminiti, who promptly hits it to short. One away. Ohtani 0 for 2. Gets to do it again. To right. Ramirez puts it away. And Bancroft, Dave, is 0 for 2 today. We head to the bottom of the seventh, 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error, 2 left on for the Hawks. Red Bulls, 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on. Red Bulls send up Garrick, Robinson, and Fernandez to face Schmidt. Bancroft to first for the out. Like I said, Schmidt gave up that home run in inning number 1, but has settled down. Collins to Sisler for the out. Robinson heads back to the dugout. Fernandez in a right field, though. He singles. Don slot. Fernandez on first. Slot walks. Doesn't extend his 8-game hitting streak, but gets on base anyway. Jeff King on the ground. Bancroft's going to throw to first to end the inning. We head to the eighth, 2-1 St. Louis. Hammaker, plenty of juice left in him, will face right Cruz and top of the order Sisler. Robinson to first for the out. Cruz in a right field, base hit. Jose Cruz, second hit of the day. George Sisler's 0 for 2. There goes Cruz. He's got it. 13th stolen base of the year. We have a player on second. This runner represents an insurance run for St. Louis if they can get him home. Intentionally walk Sisler to face Collins. I don't know if I'd do that. He intentionally walked Sisler and unintentionally walked Collins. Now we only got to face Willie Mays with the bases loaded. Mays off the pitcher to second for one, first double play. Let's find out how many people touch this ball. 1-2 from Hammaker. Mays hits a ground ball back to the mound off the pitcher's glove. Fernandez goes to his left, gloves it, throws to second for one on the first double play, but 4 people get 3 assists on that play and 2 putouts. Schmidt in the bottom of the 8th. Computer says he's strong. Ashburn walks. Gets back to the bag as Joey Votto looks to face Schmidt. That ball's hit up the middle. Schmidt to second for one, over to first. 1-4-3 double play. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th for Mellott, who started it all with a home run against Schmidt. Well, let's see what he can do. Can he tie it up? Fly ball to right field, but Wright's got the routine fly out. We head to the 9th. St. Louis leading 2-1. Hammaker is still on the mound. Facing, well, Tony Menendez comes in the pitch. I was a little ahead of myself. He will be facing Campanella, Caminetti, and Ohtani. Caminetti in the left center field, base hit. Second hit of the day. Ohtani's 0 for 3. He's going to hit a line drive, base hit in the right field. Ramirez gets the ball back in, but not before Caminetti reaches third. Runners on first and third, 1 away for Dave Bancroft. Line drive, base hit. Well, this relief pitcher hasn't done well. Ohtani's thrown out at third by Manny Ramirez, however, for the second out, but not before a third run comes in. 3-1, right up. Line drive, base hit. That was an important throw from Ramirez to King to get that runner, or there would have been a 4th run scored. Runners now on first and third. Will Menendez stay in? No. Jake Miller comes in to face Cruz. Line drive, base hit. No. Ashburn makes a great play. Number 19 for Richie Ashburn. We go to the bottom of the 9th. It's 3-1 St. Louis. Schmidt, who started the game by giving up that Mellott home run. Let's see if he can shut him out the rest of the way. Strikes out Ramirez. Gehrig on the ground to Collins, 2 away. Schmidt just got the 2 toughest hitters on the team. Ground ball to Bancroft. Game is over, 1-2-3 as Schmidt pitches a beauty of a game after giving up that home run. St. Louis, 3 runs, 9 hits, and errors, 6 left on. Red Bolts, 1-3-0, 4 left on. Let's check the box score. St. Louis, Caminetti, 2 for 4. Cruz, 2 for 4. And, of course, St. Louis's home runs by Mays and Caminetti. Winning pitcher Schmidt, he's now 5-5. He should be the star of the game. Yeah, he is. He's the MVP. 9 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned, of course. 4 strikeouts, 2 walks. Hammock of the loser. He's now 5-4. Pitched 8 innings. Good game, but not quite enough. 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned. Struck out and walked 3. Hernandez and Miller came on. Menendez and Miller came on. Menendez did not pitch well. Okay, one more game today, and then we're done. And I get to watch the Red Sox golf and then the second Red Sox game. But before, let's finish the 12th. Carolina at Edmonton. Edmonton wins 10-5. Carolina drops a game. Lancaster at Beantown. Lancaster back to 500. 6-3. Lehigh at Gary. Lehigh wins, and they inch closer to 500. 8-6. Let's play Union Stewards at Real since David's here, and that's the last game I'm doing today. Pedro Martinez. We're going to see pitchers today. Clayton Kershaw. Now that's a good game. Okay, lineups are in. Real has more than one first baseman. I don't know if you saw this the other day, David, but you got to fix your manager file because you got an injury. McCovey's going to play first base. Now, you got a DH here. I remember looking. You want Justice, but he's in the lineup. So you got to play Gant. See, Justice is in the lineup. So we got to go over and take Gant and put him in place of Klesko as the DH. And that leaves Killebrew at third, right? Now we've got a lineup. You got to do your manager file to do that. Your manager file is not set to do it. Here we are at Fulton County Stadium. Clayton Kershaw, 4-2 with a 1.67 ERA, faces Pedro, 6-5 with a 3.16 ERA. With no further ado, it's a little rain, so hopefully we're not rained out. Union Stewards leads off with Hornsby, followed by Jones, Murray, Gordon, Piazza, Keller, Cobb, Ripken, and hitting ninth, Columbine. In the outfield for Real Chicago, Murphy, Edmonds, Justice, Killebrew at third, Vaughn at short, Biggio at second, McCovey at first, O'Farrell catching, and Kershaw pitching. And because of the rain, let's get this thing started. Hornsby smashes it, but Murphy's there to get the out. Chipper grounds to short. Eddie Murray flies to center. Bottom of the first we go. McCovey, who leads off. He'll be followed by Edmonds, Justice, Killebrew, Murphy, Biggio, Gant, Vaughn, and O'Farrell hitting ninth. In the outfield, Keller in left, Cobb in center, Columbine in right, Jones, Ripken, Gordon, and Murray infield. Piazza catching, Pedro Martinez pitching. Here we go. Edmonds walks. David Justice. Edmonds steals second. Number 4 for Edmonds. Justice on the ground. The Murray going to take it to the bag himself. Edmonds goes to third. Base hit in the left field. Killebrew knocks in the first run of the game. Dale Murphy. Okay, Killebrew steals second. I'm impressed. Base hit in the left field. Killebrew, if he stole second, certainly going to score. And it is 2-0 Chicago. That's the real Chicago. Murphy steals second. Piazza must not have much of an arm today. Ground ball to Ripken. Web jam. Biggio's out. Great play by Cal. Okay, here we go. Kershaw in the second. Facing Gordon, Piazza, and Keller. Base hit to center field. Great second baseman, Joe Gordon. Fly ball to center. Piazza is out. Keller deep in the right field. Justice can only watch this one enter the stands. It is a 2-run home run. This game is tied. Home run number 9 for Charlie Keller. Ty Cobb slaps a single in the left. My guess is this is a stolen base attempt. Even on a pitch out, Cobb is safe. Fly ball deep to left field. Murphy back. And it hooks foul. Ripken on the ground to Killebrew. They get the second out. Cobb holds. Columbine on the ground to Biggio. Inning over. We head to the bottom of the second. We're tied at 2. Ron Gant, line drive, base hit. Archivon. Gant is thrown out by Mike Piazza. Got somebody finally. Vaughn to second. Gordon makes a great play, 2-way. And Bob O'Farrell strikes out. Second one for Martinez. We head to the third, tied at 2. Hornsby. To Vaughn. He's out. Chipper Jones. Vaughn catches the line drive. Great play. Eddie Murray is Kershaw's first strikeout victim. We head to the bottom of the third. Tied at 2. There it goes. Off the wall, McCovey is going to end up at second base with a double. Thought that was out of here, but just hit the top of the fence. Edmonds, pass ball or wild pitch? Wild pitch. McCovey at third, nobody out. Edmonds strikes out. Martinez still has a runner on third. He's capable of striking out a couple of guys in a row. But he does it now. Base hit. Justice knocks in a run. 3-2 Chicago. Killebrew Foul ball. Justice is thrown out stealing. We head to the top of the fourth, 3-2 Chicago. We'll be right back. Sip of coffee cleared my throat. We're in the fourth inning here. Top of the fourth, Gordon, Piazza, and Keller to face Kershaw. Gordon in the left field, base hit, one of my favorite second basemen. Mike Piazza on the ground to Vaughn, going to throw to second for one, over to first, a double play. 2 outs, and Charlie Keller homered his last time up. And he's going to line out to Murphy to end the inning. We head to the bottom of the fourth, 3-2 Chicago, the real Chicago, as Murphy steps in and hits it up the middle. Rizzuto to first for the out. Rizzuto in the other direction. To first, Biggio is out. Ron Gant 1 for 1. Deep in the left field, but Keller's got it for the out. 1-2-3. Go Real Chicago. We head to the fifth. 3-2 Real. Kershaw facing Ty Cobb. Ty Cobb lines it to right field for a base hit. Cobb at first. Rizzuto up. He's going to go, right? No, Rizzuto's going to bunt. Cobb goes to second. The way he steals, I just would have sent him. Cullenbine up, throws to second. Cobb gets back. Throw to third. He's stolen base number 23, so he can steal third. He should have stole second. Rizzuto would still be up. There wouldn't be any outs. But there's an out runner at third. Kershaw delivers to Cullenbine. That's hit to left field. Will he tag? Yes, the throw. He's safe. Cobb makes it. Ties the game at 3. Speed kills. In this case, it killed Real Chicago. Hornsby walks. Chipper Jones. On the ground to Vaughn. Short throw to Biggio gets Hornsby. Inning over. Halfway home, it's tied at 3. We're head to the bottom of the fifth, where Real Chicago will send up Vaughn, O'Farrell, and McCovey. Chipper Jones has got the out. O'Farrell walks. Cardinal Sin walking the number 9 hitter. McCovey up. Well, it's not a Cardinal Sin anymore. O'Farrell's thrown out by Piazza. He must be pretty slow. McCovey, line drive in the center field. That's a double. That cost Chicago a run by sending O'Farrell. Edmonds up. Struck him out. Pedro gets him. Gets out of the inning. We head to the 6th, tied at 3. Kershaw facing Murray. Fly to Murphy. Gordon on the ground. Killer moves up with it. Going to be a close play. Gordon beats it out for a hit. Piazza up the middle. Second to short. They're only going to get one. 2 away. Piazza at first. Keller up, who's homered earlier today, and singles to left center field. It's off the glove. It's all the way to the wall. That will score a run. Keller goes to second with a double. It is now 4-3 Union Stewards. Cobb up the middle, Biggio to first. Innings over, but not before Union Stewart scores. It's 4-3. Union Stewart's heading to the bottom of the sixth. Both starters still in the game. Killebrew up. That one's long. That one's deep. That one's off the wall. Killebrew ends up at second with a double. Tying run on second. One away for Dale Murphy, who strikes out. It's up to Biggio to tie the game. Fly to left. And the inning's over. We head to the seventh, 4-3 Union Stewards. Kershaw with 106 pitches, got an inning left in him, maybe. Rizzuto up. But he's being taken out early. Steve Bedrosian comes in. Bedrosian to Killebrew, going to be close. Rizzuto beats it out. Cullenbine to right. He's out. Hornsby up. Hornsby up the middle. Base hit. Rizzuto is going to hold it. Second runners on first and second. One away. Chipper Jones, 219 in the game. 110 points below the average he hits in the season he's based on. Hits it foul. That's headed for the stands. Chipper gets another chance. Ball gets away, but nobody advances. Chipper Jones on a left field base hit. They hold Rizzuto at third with less than 2 outs. Bases are loaded for Union Stewards, and it's up to Eddie Murray for some insurance runs. Bedrosian delivers. Well, it was up to Bedrosian. Bedrosian hands him an insurance run. It's 5-3. Will they take him out? He turned red. They're going to let him pitch to Gordon. Gordon pops it up in the center field. Edmonds has it. And Hornsby stays put. 5-3, bases still loaded. Will they let Bedrosian pitch to the dangerous Mike Piazza? Fly ball to left. They let him, and he gets the out. We hit the home stretch here at Fulton County Stadium, bottom of the seventh. 5 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Union Stewards, 6 left on base. 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Chicago, the Real Chicago team. 3 left on base. Martinez is okay. He's still on the mound with 94 pitches. He will be facing Gant, Vaughn, and O'Farrell here in the 7th. Fly to center. Cobb puts it away for the out. Vaughn pops it up in the infield. Gordon's got it. 2 away. O'Farrell on the ground to Gordon. 1, 2, 3 go Real Chicago. We head to the 8th. 5-3 Union Stewards. Bedrosian's red. They'll probably take him out, and they bring in Jay Howell. Keller, Cobb, Rizzuto attempting to get a little more insurance. Base hit to left for Keller. Good day, 3 for 4. Carlos Shez comes in. Hey, Carlos. Cobb bunts. Not a real life play, but Keller goes to second. Rizzuto's intentionally walked, talking about not real life plays. Cullenbine up, runners on first and second. Cullenbine on the ground to Biggio, second. Throws it to the shortstop, gets the force play. Runners on first and third. 2 away for Hornsby. Base hit in the right center field. The run's going to score. His ball's bobbled in the outfield. Hornsby's going to be allowed to go to second. Runners on second, third. 6-3 Union Stewards. Chipper Jones. Line drive, base hit. That should score 2 runs. This game is all but over. 8-3 Union Stewards. The bullpen has let David down today. Murray, base hit. Will the hit parade end? Runners on first and third. 14th hit of the day for Union Stewards. Joe Gordon. That one's out of here. 3-run home run. Excuse me. 11-3. That takes me right to the Zoom section of our game. This game ends 11-7. There were some runs. There were some excitement. Sorry about that, David, but you still lost. You scored 4 runs, 3 in the 8th, 1 in the 9th. Union Stewards wins 11-7, 11-15-0 for Union Stewards, 7-12-1 for the Real Chicago team. Excuse me one second. My voice is on its way out after having done the 4th game. Winning pitcher, Pedro Martinez, 7 2/3, 9 hits, 6 runs, all of them earned. Struck out 7, walked 4. He's now 7-5. The loser, Kershaw, 4 3, 6 innings, 7 hits. He allowed 4 runs, all of them earned. Only struck out 1, unusual for Kershaw. Hitting stars of the game, everybody for Union Stewards, led by Gordon with 4 hits. 4 hits for McCovey. Nothing wrong with Real Chicago's offense. There's lots of hits there. Okay, let's finish out simming through the 15th. We'll zip this file up, and maybe Steve will get the last 2 weeks of the month done tomorrow. Who knows? $11-7, there you go. Where does that leave Real? 5 games ahead of both Chicago and Carolina. San Francisco at Vegas. Vegas winners 3-1. Benz finally wins a game. No one else is paying attention, but Benz was on a losing streak. On to the 13th, Washington at St. Louis. 9-8, Washington upsets St. Louis upsets Washington in 10 innings. Philly is at Union Stewards as we change cities, of course, 16-5. Union Stewards on the move. This 5.5 out. Don't sleep on Union Stewards. Last season, they came back and got me from a long ways back. Real Chicago against the Chicago Gangsters, 7-6. David's team picks up a game. Vegas at Lehigh. 4-3 Lehigh, Wood over Roberts. Gary at San Francisco, 7-4 San Francisco. Crystal Lake against Manchester, they beat them 5-2. Edmonton at Lancaster, 3-1 Lancaster. And Beantown at Carolina, 2-1 Carolina. They remain 5 games behind Real Chicago. We go to the 14th. 5-3 Real Chicago stretches their lead to 5.5. Vegas at Lehigh. 5-4 Lehigh. Hubble over McGinnity. Crystal Lake at home is shut out by Manchester 8-0. Carolina again at home against Beantown. They lose 5-4. Beantown beats them. Washington at St. Louis. St. Louis 2 in a row over Washington. And let's see, will the Union Stewards continue? They don't. Philly beats them 7-3. San Francisco at home against Gary, 3-2 winners, and Lancaster at home against Edmonton. Edmonton wins 6-1. And in the final game of our sim today, Real Chicago with a 6-game lead. They win 6-0. Vegas at Lehigh. Vegas defeats them 6-4 in 10 innings. Gary at San Francisco, 16-3 San Francisco. Crystal Lake loses to Manchester 4-1. Edmonton on the road at Lancaster. Lancaster wins 10-4. Beantown at Carolina. Carolina in second place. They lose to Beantown 3-1. Washington at St. Louis. St. Louis has beat them 2 in a row. They beat them 3 in a row. Scherzer wins against Beasley. And final game of today's broadcast, Philadelphia at Union Stewards. 4-2 Philadelphia. Let's check the standings. And the stats, and then we'll wrap it up. Red Sox game's going to start for me in a few minutes, and I'll sit down and watch a busy day of baseball on TV. Washington in the Suck It Up division, 41-18, almost 700 ball. They lost a little ground to Manchester. Manchester's 4.5 back. Crystal Lake 7.5 back. Lehigh still under 400, 27-28. St. Louis passes Vegas. They're 26-31. Vegas 26-32. They're out of it for the. I know Vegas is out of it. Lehigh and St. Louis might make a run. Real Chicago 37-20, playing 650 ball. Still good ball for David. He's widened his lead in his division. Carolina by 7. Lancaster and Chicago and the Union Stewards by 8, 3-way tie. Beantown and Edmonton not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Joe Jackson started the broadcast in first place in batting average. He ends it in first place. Ruth started with home runs and RBIs. He's still there. Maddox led the league in ERA. He's still there. Wins. This time Cooper takes over with 12. Saves. Beck was ahead. He's still ahead with 9. Manager of the year is still Jamie in the voting. Mort Cooper still for the Cy Young, and Shoeless Joe still leading in MVP awards. I'd like to thank Carlos Yaz, Big Clue, Slash, David Lando, Christopher Slovak, Mark from Beantown, Steve Tate. I got everybody. Mark was the first one in. Thank you very much. Hope everybody enjoys their Sunday. I'll zip this up. It'll be posted in a few minutes. Have a nice day, everyone.